All right, y'all. We talking Baddies Midwest Review, Season 6, Episode 10. Who's going home? So the episode picks up and you have Bad Dolly and Pretty P going at it. They lock up. Security eventually breaks it up. Then Tinkerbella, she jumps in the confessional and she says she's sorry to Dolly, but Pretty P won that one. And that's just her being honest. So right after that, I guess Dolly felt like she didn't put that work in. So she went for round 2. And at the same time, you got Summer on the sideline screaming for Dolly to take her head off. Take her head off. Dolly gets an A for effort because she trying to put hands and feet on Pretty P, but only when security is in the middle. Tesehki then jumps in her confessional and she says Dolly should have stopped before round 2 because Pretty P gave her that work with all the overtime. 1 second round is over. You got Dolly leaning on the sideline like she need a respirator. Ivory goes over to Pretty P telling her she ate and left no crumbs. So then Ivory jumps in her confessional and says she understands Pretty P. She feel like her and Pretty P got something different. She feels like Pretty P's back be up against the wall because everybody be coming for her. The fact that she didn't fought Tinkerbella, DTB, and DTP sneaking her on a couple of those fights. And on top of that, her and Dolly being cool, but now all of a sudden Dolly fighting her for Summer. And she felt like Pretty P being able to stand tall through all of those situations. She felt like she loved Pretty P for that and she got Pretty P back. Then Tesehki, she walks up on Pretty P and Ivory and she tells Pretty P, you did your big one. You took no losses. You did your big one. And then Pretty P gets in a confessional and she says she appreciate Ivory and Tesehki both for checking in on her. And tomorrow's another day. Whoever want it, get in line. Summer then gets in her confessional after trying to console Dolly. She says Dolly is her bitch because she still lined it up with Pretty P after her hand was already hurt. Dolly then say wrap her hand up because she wants round 3. Then her and Summer gets into it because Summer trying to tell her man them hoes is weak. They not even worth it. Wrap your hand up. Go chill. Let your hand heal. But Dolly ain't trying to hear that. Natalie then once again starts saying how she needs to see the girls that ain't really doing too much. She needs to see them step up. Dolly in the background screaming. She going off on everybody. She calling everybody out. Meanwhile, Natalie is just telling all the other ladies she wants them to step it up. She wants to see their personality. She wants them to grab the mic when they out and about. So Scotty chimes in and she tells Emma that she wants to see Emma do a headstand. Emma says she can't do no headstand, but she bet Scotty can't do no split. So then Scotty jump up and show her what she got. Now you got Scotty and Emma competing doing splits. Natalie jumps in the confessional and she says Scotty been popping her shit all season, even though it only took 5 seasons. She said they done created a monster. So then Natalie tells the ladies that they're going out that night. It's their last night in Cleveland. She wants everybody to turn up. And Rollie chimes in and says it's somebody else's last night in Cleveland too. So let's get this night started. And the ladies walk off. So flashback at the house. Now you got Dolly getting into it with Big Lex. She's pissed off because she say her and Big Lex already had a conversation and she already let it be known that she gonna need Lex to take a fade for her. She gonna need Lex to get on somebody's ass for her. Whoever she get into it with, I'm pretty sure that they discussed it was gonna be Pretty P. But she said that it was already planned. Dolly said when it was time for Big Lex to handle business, she didn't. So now she trying to put Big Lex up out the room. Big Lex say she ain't going nowhere. Big Lex said, if you want me out this room, you got to put me out. And I bet you I'm not going nowhere. And I bet you I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight. Lex feels like P ain't no competition. She done been there and done that. Big Lex feel like Pretty P called out Summer, not Bad Dolly. And she felt like she wasn't going to fight for Summer. It was Dolly that felt like she had to take that for Summer. But in reality, it's like Dolly's hand was hers. Summer should have just took her own little situation. She should have handled her own little situation. For her to even let Dolly fight on her behalf, knowing that Dolly's hand was already messed up, I'd be side-eyeing her as a friend too. Biggie comes in, letting everybody know that they have a booking. They got to get dressed and they got to get ready to go. So the ladies is getting ready to move out. And once again, Big Lex, she reiterates, I'm not going nowhere. And if I come back and anybody has touched my personal shit, it's going to be a problem. Flash forward to Rollie. She's getting ready. And she's saying how she just want to go out and have fun tonight. She don't want no drama. She's hoping it won't be no fighting. It's the last night in Cleveland. She really loves Cleveland. And she just want everything to go smooth. Summer says she's so irritated. She's upset that Dolly messed her hand up even more. But she's feeling like a boss chick. She's going to keep it cute. Let's go out. Let's get this money and see how tonight goes. You got the rest of the ladies all getting ready. Everybody's pretty much on the same page. They just want to go out. They want to make this coin and they want to have a good time. So they're all on a sprinter now, and Ivory kicks the conversation off. She wants to know what's going on with Big Lex and Dolly. Say she was walking the hall. She heard all the commotion. She seen Big Lex with her shoes off, ready to get active. Big Lex say she fuck with Summer and Dolly, but she just feel like Pretty P ain't no competition. So Ivory turns around to Pretty P doing a little instigation, and she says, "You hear that, Pretty P? Big Lex feels like you ain't fucking with her. You're no competition to her." Natalie says it's about that time to get off the bus. They do baddie shot o'clock and pull up to the club. So the ladies is inside the club. Everything is turned up. Everybody's partying. All the ladies is grabbing the mic, doing their thing, doing their songs. You get Big Lex. She jump on the mic. She screaming how this is her city. And you know, the crowd is reacting a little bit. Then you have Ivory. She grabbed the mic and she get to saying, "This my city." They screaming out her name right after Big Lex was saying it was her city. Now Ivory saying that it's her city. And the crowd seems to recognize Ivory more than they do Big Lex. As a matter of fact, they're screaming Big Ivory as opposed to them screaming Big Lex. You could just see in Big Lex's face that she feels some type of way. Even though the crowd was reacting to Big Lex, they wasn't doing how they was doing it with Ivory. Big Lex gets in her confessional and she feels like Ivory is violating because she just got finished saying that it was her city, and Ivory comes right behind her and she's saying, nah, it's her city. So she said they already had their issues previously, and now she just feel like pretty much Ivory instigating some more shit and she feels some type of way. All I'm going to say is the crowd was giving it up for Ivory. They were screaming her name, and Big Lex didn't get that same reaction. So I don't know whose city it is. Flash forward. Now you have all the OGs boarding the bus or boarding the sprinter because they're getting ready to go to the cast house because they're getting ready to leave Cleveland and go to Chicago. And of course, somebody can't go. At the house, the ladies are packing up. You got Big Lex, Dolly, and Summer all in the room, and they're talking. And pretty much Dolly is like, she was tripping the day before. Big Lex is still her girl. She can't be mad at her for not wanting to get in the paint. They all agree Cleveland was bittersweet, but they looking for the turn up in Chicago. So now you got Tinkerbella and Ivory in the room getting ready. And Tinkerbella just came in to check on Ivory. And they're talking about going to the next city, who they think is not going, and if it's going to be some shit or if everything going to go smooth. Ivory say she think that it's going to be Emma that get voted out, or it could even possibly be Summer because Summer just be doing too much. Tinkerbella agrees. Emma don't really do anything, but she just ready to turn up and get to the next city. Now you got Emma, Jazz, and Pretty P in the room, and they're packing their stuff up, getting ready. They're discussing what they think is going to take place next in Chicago, who's going, and what to expect. So then Jasmine asked the question to the other ladies, how they feel about everybody picking at least one of them to go home. Pretty P says she's just over it. Emma says she just feel like all the ladies feel like they too real, or they can't stand the fact that they too real and they just can't deal with it. Jasmine says she don't really give a fuck. She don't really think about it. And everybody that says she needs to go home or the main ones that need to go home. So now you got Diamond the Body in the room packing, and in comes Rollie and Biggie. They decide to do a round of shots. Then they start discussing the next city, how they feel about all the ladies, and that they don't think all the ladies deserve to move on. Diamond says everybody thinks Baddies is just about fighting. True enough, they fight, and fighting is cool, but what else can you do? What else do you bring to the table? Biggie say, are you serving looks? Are you funny? Are you talented? And Rollie chimes in and say, well, shit, looks don't even matter neither, because we not here to be cute. That was funny to me. She say they there to get money. So all the ladies line up outside by the buses. They're getting ready to go. And of course, Natalie lets it be known that it's time for somebody to keep it moving. Somebody can't go. Tesehki says this is the hard part. And Natalie said, well, it's really not that hard, because some of these ladies need to step their game up, and I'm not playing no more. She just doesn't have the time. She announces it's 2 people this time. 2 people are up to be left. Summer is the first one to chime in, and she sticks to what she's been saying the entire time. P needs to go home, Emma needs to go home, and Jazz needs to go home. She's over it, and she doesn't know how many chances they need. They're boring. Natalie says, well, I put some OGs in the house with y'all, and I want to hear from the OGs. That's Tinka, Rollie, Biggie, and Diamond. Diamond the Body says she personally thinks Akbar needs to go home because Akbar likes to spit on people. And hey, I agree. You spit on me, we gonna have a problem. Then she says she feel Emma needs to go. She likes Emma, but Emma has some personal stuff going on at home, and she feel like Emma is she feel like it's affecting Emma's energy. Tinkerbella is ass, and then she also says she feels like Emma needs to go, and pretty much she feels like Emma is dealing with a lot, and she might need to go home and handle that. And then she says even though she really likes Emma, and then Anna chimes in and say, oh, it's not because she's quiet. And then Tinka says, well, it's a little bit of that too. Emma says she respects Tinkerbella and Diamond because they really do know what's real and what she is really going through. Or then Biggie is asked, and she says that she thinks it should be Jazz. And her reason for that is that Jazz doesn't really give her nothing in the house. And when they're out doing bookings and at the club, she's kind of quiet. She's not really supporting all the other ladies when they're performing, even though she thinks that Jazz is a good performer herself. Anna chimes in, and she's speaking up for Emma and Jazz. She pretty much says that she like both of them. And even she told Biggie that Jazz is always right next to her when they're in the club, and she's giving it up just like the rest of the ladies. Jasmine says that Biggie needs to go home because when it's time for her to get in the paint, that's something that she will do and Biggie doesn't do, and that's everybody's complaint with Biggie. Natalie asks, does anybody has anything else to say? And here goes Big Lex. She wants to call out Ivory for Ivory saying that it was her city when they was at the club. She want to know, was Ivory doing that on purpose? Was she trying to be funny? Was she trying to start some drama? And pretty much Ivory like, man, I say every city is my city. Anna chimes in again. She been barking like a little chihuahua the whole time. She chimes in again, and she pretty much says, Lex, you're from Akron. This ain't your city. Big Lex says, this is part of my city. Anna, you don't know. Pipe down. Ivory goes into her confessional, and she's like, no, bitch, I wasn't trying to be funny. I was drunk. I was having a ball. They was chanting my name. I didn't hear nobody calling your name. If it's your city, why they wasn't calling your name? And I mean, quiet as kept. I low-key gotta agree. Akbar and Jaden say they ain't got time. They gotta go catch a flight while y'all hoes ride on this bus. They throw up the deuces, turn around, and they up out of there. Natalie say, this the deal. Emma, Jazz, both of y'all names came up the most. Y'all gonna have to figure it out. She tells them that they're going to have to ride on the bus. Her and some of the ladies is going to get on the PJ, and all the ladies that's going to be with her on the PJ, they're going to discuss what they're going to do with Emma and Jazz. And once they get to their destination, then they'll let them know what's going to take place. Natalie's going to take Rollie, Scotty, Jayla, Anna, and Tesehki on the PJ. Why Biggie had to say, and Biggie. And she's like, oh yeah, and Biggie. Flash forward to on the bus, you got Ivory, and she's going on. She's like, I'm tired of everybody in they bull. I'm tired of all the fakeness. Somebody got something to say it. Ivory say, everybody know how to call the fade. If you want that issue, speak on it. Say something. She's then say that Big Lex is weird and she really don't want no smoke. She say nobody need a reason if they want to get down with her. All they got to do is say, Ivory, let's go. Then you have Big Lex in her confessional. She say she feel like at this moment Ivory is throwing shade and subliminals. Pretty P say she's so tired of bitches fighting and yelling. She just want to have a nice ride to the next city. Tinkerbella asks Jazz why she like roller coasters. Jazz say for the adrenaline, they fast. And here goes Summer.
I like fast shit. Yeah.
For a slow bitch.
I like fast. Everybody know you the slow bitch. Everybody.
Yes, you're going
That's
home.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Your arguments don't make
Go
sense
back to the
me.
D.
Cause it's like I'm arguing with somebody that's really slow for real, and it's kind of making me feel slow. And I don't want to feel that because I got good sense. You feel me?
No,
but
you
arguing
don't.
with you makes me feel slow. It's like dumbs me down. It really does. Like
You
I
do
be
that
like,
on your own.
it's like
I just show
it's like I'm
everybody
going down
I wanna
notches
feel.
when I converse with you.
For a slow bitch. At this point, I don't even know why Jazz opened up her mouth, because you already know Summer gonna have something to say. Summer just be waiting in the bushes for her to say anything, and she coming with something crazy up out of her mouth. So the ladies arrive at the airport. They're getting on the PJ and getting ready to head out to Chicago. Natalie asks the ladies which one of the girls she thinks needs to go home, Jazz or Emma, and Anna quickly chimes in and says she thinks Emma should go home, but then again, she's thinking about the fact that Emma's probably using her money to help her dad, and it gets a little bit deeper for her. But at the same time, somebody got to go home because there's too many of them. She says she doesn't want to see Emma go, but she thinks Jazz is lit, and Jazz doesn't need to go. Natalie kind of wants some information on what's going on with her dad, so they begin to tell Natalie that her dad has cancer. So Natalie say maybe we should all pull together as like the baddie sisterhood, make her feel a little bit better. Rollie chimes in and says she feel like everybody should have a chance at being a baddie. People bring different things to the table, different issues, different circumstances, and that they shouldn't expect all the girls to be them. Natalie pretty much says that she's confused because Emma is quiet, but once she get a little liquor in her, you know, she pretty much turns up a notch. And then she says Jazz is pretty much boring, but her music is fire and she performs really good. So she just like, I'm confused. And then she asks Scotty, what's Scotty's opinion? She says it's not that she doesn't like Emma. She says she doesn't really know Emma. And she gets that she's going through something in the background. She understands that. Maybe she just needs to be around people and take her mind off the situation. Then Scotty says in her confessional, she's pretty much saving Emma's life because Emma's getting into it with her. They don't want to send her home. So pretty much Emma needs to thank her. So they get to Chicago and then they get to the house to where the newbies is supposed to be staying, and they aren't there yet. So Natalie notices that all the rooms have names of the girls. So she decides what we need to do is change some of the names around. Natalie says the OGs is going to be in charge of where the newbies sleep. When I tell you they are being messy, they are being messy. So they decide to stick Ivory in the room with Big Lex. The newbies arrive and they are loving the house. Natalie lets them know she's not staying there. Then she tells everybody to go find their rooms. Their names are on the doors. So Pretty P has her own room. Big Dolly has her own room. So Ivory gets to her room first and she see Big Lex name on the door. Immediately snatches it off and go put it on another door. She like, hell no, this bitch is not staying in the room with me. So Big Lex finds out her name was on the door. She comes in and she immediately jumps on the bed. And she's telling Ivory that, you know, this her shit. Her name was on the door. She ain't going nowhere. Lex say, I gave you a pass in Cleveland, but you trying me right now. And Ivory is like, I don't care. I'm not sharing a room with you. Ivory goes scream down to all the other ladies. Y'all fucking with me. Y'all trying me. And they all acting like they don't know what's going on. But then they see how serious she is. So they like, okay, it was a joke. It was a joke. And she like, why y'all trying to turn me up? Why y'all playing with me? Natalie, she starts laughing and she just like, I love Ivory. Natalie like, girl, okay, we was just playing a joke. Calm down. Are you okay? Are you gonna be okay? Jayla follows Ivory into the room. She's trying to talk to her, trying to calm the situation down. And then here comes Big Lex. And she stands firm. I'm staying in this room. I'm not moving. Ivory throw her shit on the bed. She step back. She like, okay, what it do? And right then and there, they lock up. When I tell you Big Lex and Ivory is something to see, these hoes going at it, it's like two bulls locking up. So that right there is the end of the episode. I can't wait to see what the next episode gonna bring. Cause these two right here, they look like they about to be moving some furniture. Anyway, tell me what you guys think about this episode. Like the video, comment, subscribe, share the video, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.
Since we kicked it, you've been caught up with the bitches I don't get.